Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've been keeping a close eye on Pi Network and Bitcoin lately, you know the markets have been giving us a lot to think about. Today, we're diving deep into the current price action, the technical levels we're watching, how market sentiment is shifting, and what to expect next, especially with some fresh developments in the Pi ecosystem and Bitcoin's momentum heading into a critical phase. Let's start with Pi. On the 4-hour chart, we recently spotted a potential breakout zone, and right after confirming that breakout, we entered a trade. This wasn't a random move, it was based on solid price action analysis. The market gave us the breakout we were anticipating, but so far, the move hasn't been as explosive as we initially expected. That's okay, though. In trading, not every breakout leads to a rocket move right away. Sometimes, markets take their time, consolidate a little, and build momentum gradually before making the next big push. So here's the thing, while Pi did break out, the momentum has been relatively slow. And that's something we always have to consider. Markets don't always go straight up, even when the setup looks bullish. Instead, what we're seeing here could be a slow grind upwards, a possible consolidation around current levels, or even a short-term pullback before the next leg higher. Right now, our trade is still above the entry point, which is good news, but we're not in the profit zone we were hoping for just yet. If we zoom out to the one-day chart, things still look bullish from a broader perspective. The long-term structure for Pi is intact, and the potential for upside in the coming weeks remains strong. We're in a holding pattern now, but the bulls haven't lost control. Still, in the short term, the market looks dull, volume is thinning out, momentum has slowed down, and we're not seeing the kind of price aggression that usually follows a breakout. There's also something else to consider, recent changes on the Pi Network mainnet. In the past 24 hours, there's been a noticeable increase in unlocked mining rewards. That means more Pi tokens have been released into circulation, which has naturally increased the circulating supply. This shift isn't just a footnote, it's a significant event in the ecosystem. More tokens in circulation can create temporary downward pressure on price, especially if those tokens hit the exchanges or are used for transactions. But here's the key takeaway, even with this increase in supply, I still believe Pi has the strength to move higher in the coming weeks. Now, why is that? Because market cycles are complex. Even with more supply, if demand stays strong or increases as Pi gains more exposure and adoption, we could still see a gradual rise. It's all about the balance of supply and demand. Right now, we may be in a short-term correction or even a sideways phase, but long-term momentum is still leaning bullish. So what should we expect next? From the current price levels around 0.653 to 0.67 USDT, Pi might make a move down before continuing upward. That's something we need to watch closely. If the price starts to retrace and we lose key support levels, we'll need to consider exiting the trade early to minimize risk and wait for a stronger setup. But if we hold support and see a slow grind up, then our original plan stays intact. Either way, flexibility is key. The market isn't always going to play out exactly the way we anticipate, and that's why we adapt in real time. If you're in this trade with us, keep monitoring the structure closely. And if you're not already in the Telegram group, you're seriously missing out. That's where we post real-time updates, trade alerts, and breakdowns like this before the videos even go live. The link is in the description and the pinned comment. It's free to join and super valuable if you want to stay ahead of the game. Now, let's shift our focus to Bitcoin. BTC has also been making some interesting moves lately. On the 4-hour chart, we're currently in a long position that we entered after identifying bullish signals from a support zone. The move initially looked a bit weak, and I was considering closing the trade early. But then we saw a strong bullish candle, and that gave me the confidence to hold the position. Since then, the market has climbed a bit, and we're still in profit, nothing huge yet, but enough to show the move was valid. Currently, Bitcoin is facing some resistance around the $85,300 to $86,000 zone. This is a critical level that's been acting as a ceiling for price. We've seen a couple of spikes into this area that were quickly rejected, which tells us there's selling pressure here. That said, resistance doesn't always mean reversal. Sometimes, markets need to test these zones a few times before finally breaking through. And if that happens, we're looking at a clear path toward our target of $88,000. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Right now, momentum is okay, not great. The fact that this move happened over the weekend isn't ideal. We usually want to see these kinds of breakouts occur early in the week when trading volume and institutional activity are higher. If this move had started on a Monday or Tuesday, I'd have been a lot more confident in seeing a straight shot to our target. But because of the timing, there's a higher chance of consolidation or a small pullback before we get there. That brings us to a very realistic scenario, a retracement to build more bullish strength. We might see BTC dip back slightly before making the next leg higher. And this retracement could be healthy. It gives the market a chance to gather more buyers and shake out weak hands before pushing higher. So if you're in this trade, just keep watching how price behaves at these key levels. There's been a lot of chatter about Bitcoin pulling back to $70,000 or even as low as $65,000. While I won't rule anything out in crypto, I personally don't see that happening unless we get a major shift in sentiment or unexpected news. The one-day chart is still showing strong bullish structure. We're printing higher lows and making steady progress to the upside. If this trend continues, I believe we could see Bitcoin pushing to $91,000 or even testing the $100,000 level over the next month or two. Yes, that's an ambitious call, but it's not unrealistic. The market has been setting up for a major move, and once the current resistance levels are cleared, there's not much standing in the way. We've seen this kind of setup before. If you were around during the last bull cycles, you know how quickly Bitcoin can move when things align. So my stance remains bullish, cautiously optimistic in the short term, and very optimistic for the long term. So to recap, on Pi, we're watching for either a slow continuation up or a short-term correction before the next move. We're still in the trade, but cautious. On Bitcoin, we're also still holding a position, looking for continuation after resistance breaks. Short-term pullbacks are possible, even likely, but they don't change the overall bullish outlook. Make sure you're staying updated with these charts in real time. Again, the Telegram group is where all the live updates and alerts go first. Link in the description. If you're serious about trading or investing in Pi or BTC, it's a no-brainer to join. If you found this analysis helpful, please consider supporting the channel by smashing the like button. It helps more than you know. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future updates. We post deep market analysis, project news, and trading strategies regularly. Also, check out the other crypto videos on the channel for more insights and updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay informed, and stay in profit.